Hi, everyone. I'm Carrie Lee Petrosky, eating psychology coach and board certified hypnotherapist. And I want to talk to you today about the secret to lasting weight loss success. Anyone who's been on a diet knows that diets don't work, at least not long term. And the reasons for this are numerous. First and foremost, diets get you to constantly be thinking about food. Whether you're counting calories, grams, points, what have you, you're constantly thinking about the food. So even when you're not physically hungry, you're still thinking about that food. And guess what? When you're thinking about food, you go and you get the food. But also, diets set up restrictions. And it's just human nature that we want what we can't have. So I could tell you that you couldn't have Cheez-Its, and you might hate Cheez-Its. I'm kidding. I don't know anybody who hates Cheez-Its. But once something is restricted, it becomes your new favorite food. And come heck or high water, you're going to have that. So the diets get you to constantly thinking about food, and then you're feeling deprived and resentful of the foods that you can't have. But what also happens is when we're on a diet, a lot of times we're not paying attention to our body signals of physical hunger and comfortable fullness. So we might be eating something even when we're not physically hungry just because it's allowed on the diet. But more importantly, what happens is a lot of times people will constrict their calories and their points and not eat in response to that physical hunger because they're baking those calories or points for a dinner that they might be going out to later, or they've exceeded their calories or points. And what happens is when we're not eating in response to our signals for physical hunger, when we're denying our appetite, our digestive metabolism goes into slowdown mode, because we're meant to store fat as a survival mechanism. So when you're not eating in response to physical hunger, if you're denying that appetite, your digestive metabolism is saying, whoa, hold on to every single fat calorie because God knows when this crazy person's going to feed us again. And then when you do eat, your digestive metabolism is still in slowdown mode. So you're not able to metabolize those calories as well. You're not burning off those calories as efficiently. And so what happens is when we come to the end of our diet, either we bought into a 3, 6, 12-month program, or we're on a self-imposed diet getting ready for a wedding or reunion, the diet comes to an end. We're still thinking about food because that's what we've trained our brain to do. We go for all those foods that we felt deprived and resentful that we couldn't have, and we usually go overboard. And then we put the weight back on because our digestive metabolism is still in slowdown mode. And then we put on all the excess, we put on all the weight again, and sometimes more because of that digestive metabolism in slowdown mode. And we go back to the diet because it worked before. And the vicious cycle continues. So if diets don't work, what does? What works is eating in response to your body's signals of physical hunger and stopping when you're comfortably full. The definition of a calorie is, well, a calorie is a unit of energy. But the way that they determine the caloric value is they have these fancy little ovens called bomb calorimeters. And they put the food item in the oven, surround it with oxygen, ignite the oxygen, and burn it up. And however much heat is emitted determines the caloric value. So if you think of it in those terms, your digestive metabolism is that little oven. The food inside is the fuel. That's what keeps the fire going. So if you think of your body in those terms, or your digestive metabolism in those terms, as the oven, the fire, what do you need to keep a fire going? You need fuel, which is the food. So if you're not eating in response to physical hunger, when your body's saying it's hungry, it's saying that that digestive metabolism, that fire is starting to peter out. So if you don't put any fuel in there, the fire will completely dwindle. On the other end, though, if you put too much food in there, put too much fuel on a fire, it smothers it. And that's when you go into that food coma and you can't move for the next 30 minutes or so. And you need time to digest. Because food is fuel. It's meant to energize you. It shouldn't be making you tired and needing time to metabolize and digest that. So this is just some of the many things that I teach my clients when they come in to help them develop a healthy relationship with food, because a healthy relationship with food truly is the key to lasting weight loss success. There's a lot more that goes into it. I'm just giving you a small taste here of what it is, of what goes into it. But I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have. I love helping people on their weight reduction journey. Again, my name is Carrie Lee Petrosky. I'm a board-certified hypnotherapist and an eating psychology coach, owner of Catalyst Hypnosis Center and KP Empowering You. So if you have any questions, please feel free to message me or give me a call. I'd love to help you out on your journey. And always remember, where attention goes, energy flows. So focus on the positive and make it a fantastic day.